Welcome to the main event. I be your host, main event Frow. We're about to talk a little bit about NXT predictions for Halloween Havoc. With no further ado, hit y'all with the intro so we can dive right into it.
Welcome to
Dom, I think I know what you were trying to do. Welcome to the main event.
The most unhinged wrestling podcast on YouTube. Welcome to the main event. I be your host, main event Fro, the most unhinged wrestling podcast on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Before we kick this thing off, man, before we kick this thing off, y'all know what time. We got somebody at the front arena. Let's go!
Literally. I will never get tired of that interview.
What's up? Wiley, man. You know you're going on, man. I'm always running late. I got to fix that. The first matchup we got is Andre Chase versus Ridge Holland in an ambulance match. Now, we haven't had one of these in a while, people. We haven't had an ambulance match in a while. And when you're looking at it from outside, just looking at Ridge Holland, then you look at Andre Chase, you'll be like, yeah, Ridge Holland is gonna take this guy through there. But I'm thinking Andre Chase is gonna take the win. I don't even think he's gonna win by himself. Duke Hudson may come along and interfere in the match and help him out. It's about time for Duke Hudson for his return. Yeah, I think Duke Hudson gonna return and help Andre Chase out in this ambulance match. Maybe the whole crew return and just beat down Ridge Holland and send him off in the ambulance. But I'm gonna go with Andre Chase in this one. Got anything for that one, Wiley?
I mean, for that matchup, yeah, I could see Rollins winning that, but like you said, you know, there could be, you know, his boy for Chase, his boys could come back and then help him out with that. So it all depends. But because it's a no DQ and all that other stuff, I think depending on just how they wanna, it all depends. Like, if he wins, right? Like, if Ridge Holland wins, like, it all depends on how they want to use him. So I would believe they make him win. Because you would have just blow it up for nothing. You wouldn't blow it up for nothing. So I would believe that they think they make him win. But I do believe, like, there will be a point where there has to be an understanding. Like, there has to be a story wrapped around, like, why did he do it?
Right.
And so far, we haven't got that part. So, yeah. So I think he wins this one, but then once the story gets out, then I think Chase would just, you know, probably eventually win this one because, you know, he feels like he would probably be in a place where he feels like, you know, this is all my fault. I brung him in, so now I got to be the one to make sure to put you down. Type stuff. So, yeah.
Right. Yep. I just don't see Andre Chase returning and losing, but shit. It's tough, man. It's a tough one, but I'm gonna go with Andre Chase, even though I want to go with Ridge Holland. Like, my boy being brutally, and then the promo he cut this past Tuesday, you know what I'm saying? It was hardcore, you know. And I think, you know what? I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna go with Ridge Holland. I'm gonna go with Ridge Holland, and Andre Chase may take the win that when they go to the ECW stadium, and they may have a hardcore match. That's what I'm gonna say. So I'm gonna stick with Ridge Holland though, man, because I just don't see him losing though. I just can't picture him losing this match.
especially at this volume. So yeah.
Right. At the rate he's at now, yeah. All right, so we're gonna move to this next matchup, which is Kalani versus one of the women from Fatal Influence. Now, this is, we never got the
official.
Yeah, the official stipulation of the match.
The official stipulation is still a mystery, but the official challenge was also one, because they did that little botch towards the end where they welcome your girl, so they didn't get a chance to say who's the one facing her for the title, which that's a little bit sad and stupid, because you thought you actually made that clear.
Like, we don't know who facing her. In my thing, that since the other two been doing tag matches, it may be Jasmine, and then she also attacked Jasmine on the outside of the ring. That could have been an indication of it when she attacked Jasmine on the outside. That could have been an indication, but I do believe Jasmine is, since the other two been doing tag matches this whole time. But this is where we come to a four-way stop. You know what I'm saying? Where everybody just got to stop and think for a minute. Delta has made her debut in NXT, formerly known as Delta, now known as Zarya. Okay, Zarya, formerly known as Delta, made her debut at NXT this past Tuesday, and she's not in the NXT title picture. They didn't want to put three major names in that circle, so she's going after the North American Championship. Now, this is where I'm like, God damn, they keep bumping Jacy Jayne down. Like, Shawn Michaels was high on pushing Jacy Jayne. Now this just bumps her one more card down the ladder. First you get Julia, then you get Stephanie. You had to bump her to the North American Championship, right? Now you got Zarya coming through the door, which bumps her further down. What are we doing here? You know what I mean? Now unless they gonna let Jacy Jayne go for the title and she win it. And that leaves Zarya going for the chase of the title. But then you had to bump Kalani up with Julia and them at. So what are we doing?
That's the high price of big time wrestling. WWE was the one that chased these big names. But I don't know, man. It's very seclusive because we don't know what they're gonna do yet, but it's very up there because we don't know what's her role gonna be. She just right now just filler for the scenery. So they haven't hit her up with a direction as far as where you at. I mean, granted, the two new ones that they bring, Gina and Stephanie, like they pretty much just jumped the line. It's like, oh yeah, they're right in front of the title picture. And then, so as far as for Zora, time will tell. But it's just gonna be interesting how this goes down the line.
Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting.
I can definitely see, like, with her right now in the mix, because she got like that dark aura imagery. Wendy Chu got the dark aura imagery. Tatum Patley. Yeah, she got that dark aura imagery. So it's like you got a couple of these females that got these dark aura imageries. It's like you can definitely like swerve them as a team or something like that if it comes to that. But because it's literally out there. So
yeah, I can see that if they, if that's
what they want. My thing is, because my only thing is like just like what you said, right? It's like she just comes in here and she's touted to be right in the title picture. It's like, well, dang. It's like everyone's just taking a big fat drop back behind everybody else. That's
right.
A big name. But that goes to show you how big these people is. Like, they just jump in the line like, screw y'all. Like, you may as well have said they could have just been on the main roster for all we care.
Right. Then you bump. Okay, so Jason James get bumped down. Lola Vice get detoured. You know, like she on a detour right now.
Yeah, but
and
that's why they just trying to be safe on that one.
But she had the flames on her. They should have pulled the trigger while it was hot. But I knew they wanted Roxanne to represent the company as these new people came through.
Yeah,
I don't blame her. I don't blame her.
Yeah, but just look how that transpired. It's like, hey, it was the right move because look what happened.
Right.
But I mean, yeah, but even for JC Jane, like, I thought she was supposed to be the leader of that group. And it's like, okay, well, if she's constantly in tag teams, it's like, ooh.
She's supposed to be, but nobody represent the leadership of the group. Like, I mean, if you want to say that Fallon Henley and JC James, like, both kind of act as a on-par leader of the group, you can say that. But
yeah, well, that's the problem with this whole thing. But I mean, as far as they match right now, as far as the match like coming Halloween Havoc, I don't know why, but I think because, well, probably they may name a number one person that's gonna go for the title. But if they don't, what would be so crazy is, because technically, remember, it's their selection on the match, since it's their choice.
Right.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they made it like a handicap match or some fatal four-way, because they can literally be like 3 against 1, and someone's gonna pin her, someone gets that belt. Right. But that also opened the floodgate to be like, okay, she can get somebody else, she can get help outside of the match, and then someone can help her out with, you know, with 2 of them, and then makes it fair. So a lot of things can happen.
That's what I was thinking too. Like, maybe they make it a handicap match, or like you said, a fatal 4-way, which still work as a handicap match. Maybe work against them because they don't know who gonna get the pin, and they fight over the pin.
Right, because if they don't have, because apparently, right, if there's no clear leader, then it's like, well, who you really help them get the dub?
Right.
So it's like, well, God forbid if the egos fall up. So, but I don't think so. They're gonna let that just, you know, simmer real quickly. So it's like, I think more likely so there'll be others, like there'll somebody be coming, like it could be Bianca and Jay come through and help out with like those 2 in the mix.
Right.
It could be somebody else. You know, it all depends. So yeah.
Yeah, then they come help her out, then you automatically got to throw Fatal Influence into the title pitch, the tag title pitch. You know what I'm saying? And they already got 3 other teams: Damage Control, Metaphor, and Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. I already got those 3 teams going after the tag titles.
Yep.
You add Fatal Influence, what they gonna do? I already was thinking they're gonna have like a 4-way tag team title match, and that's that's how they get the titles out. Bianca and Jade.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
because nobody can beat them head up. Let's be honest. I mean, Damage Control got the potential. That you want to throw Julie and Stephanie in that motherfucker, but other than that, though.
But I did like when what's her name, with Chelsea, when Chelsea Green and Piper Niven came through.
Yeah.
Hey, I like that. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, that was like that good plus sign. Like, you know what, I could actually get behind this.
Yeah, and then I like the match too. You know what I'm saying? Like, the match was good. The crowd was cheering for both teams. You know, I only think Piper Niven and Chelsea was the only heels in the fashion. But the crowd cheered that too. You know?
And they did.
Yeah, so NXT, they had a hype crowd, though. The crowd just was hyped for some good wrestling and some good entertainment. And they delivered. But I got Kalani retaining in this match, though. Like, in this match, I got Kalani retaining. But who you got to win, though? Kalani or Fatal Influence? I don't think I got your answer on that.
I think they give it to Kalani. I don't think so they're gonna let her lose like this, in this way.
Right. Let's get into some of this heat now. Those two matches were like filler matches, really. They still gonna be good, but they filler matches. Let's get into the Dunn versus Obafemi. Table, ladders, and scares. Table, ladders, and scares, man. The way they've been playing the story out, Obafemi picking on the family. Somebody took out Renzo. Who the fuck took out Renzo? That's still anonymous. So we don't know who took out Renzo, but did Obafemi have something to do with that? Did he hire an attacker on her so he can throw off the Dunn? But Obafemi takes out the family in front of the Dunn, chain the Dunn up, takes out the family. So this indicates to me that the story they're telling is, okay, you take out my people, you take out my family, that gives me more of a Goku adrenaline rush, you know? You killed Krillin, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you took out Stats. So he get this aggression, the momentum, and the motivation to go harder in this match. And I think the Dunn will capture this title. Cause they gotta climb the ladder, right? I think he said something about climbing the ladder. So, yeah. I think the Dunn wins this match. He retains. Due to storytelling. Even though I don't want to say that shit, but god damn. What you got to say on that, Wiley?
I mean, man, look, I can see the storytelling part, but I say screw the storytelling part. I got Obafemi winning this. This is more, man. This has been the most diabolical thing that he's done so far. Yeah. I still don't expect him to lose this match. And if he does, riggings or nothing but complete riggings. But I said before, if he loses this match and he don't get that title back, there's only one path left. There's only one path left.
Yep. Whoop that trick.
Yeah.
That's it. But yeah, man, I do want to go with Over, but I'm gonna try to go to how they telling the story. I'm gonna try to go to how they. Oh man, because I think it's still too soon for Over to go after Trick Williams. I think he still need like at least to stand in delivery next year before he can go after that title. So yeah, man, you got Over, I got the Dunn on that one. We both on Kalani, and we both chose Ridge Hollins. Okay. So now they get into some spicy shit. Cora Jade and Roxanne versus Julia and Stephanie Valkyria. I never say her name right, but Stephanie. And I can't see Julia taking another loss. So I'm gonna go with Julia and Stephanie picking up the win on this one. Not too much to be said about this. It haven't been a big story. They haven't had like no major storytelling in it. You know, just somebody showed up from another company to win Roxanne title. But I got Julia and Stephanie taking the win for this one. As far as the future holds, I think it will be like a Julia versus Stephanie. And maybe you can insert Cora Jade in there too for a triple threat for the number one contendership or Roxanne Perez title. So that's what I got. It's on you, Wiley.
Yeah, pretty much same consensus. I got Gina and Stephanie winning the tag match. She don't like Roxanne or Cora Jade don't really need to win this match at all because it's not like they're losing anything out of it. But as far as like for the future, I don't see this really like this is gonna be a long time. Like just because they got there and they're in the main title picture doesn't mean that they're gonna get there anytime soon. So I was hearing, they've been trying to work with Gina and Stephanie they're trying to make it very slow because for the reason why is because their language barrier. So that means that it'll be a minute before they are quote unquote the company lead. And that would more likely be because, the mouthpiece, all that added into the mix. So it's like, hey, we're high on them, but it's like at the same time, we know that there's some challenges. So it's like we're gonna do this nice and slow.
Right.
So I think more than anything after this, will they get there? Maybe. I always say this is why it's always like at this point, this is why it's so important. Like nowadays, like just get like one of those managers and just tag along a manager on them, and it's like just make it easier. Because some people just don't have that. Just don't have like, they never get done with like the whole language barrier things. Like they always in that bottleneck of it all. So but. We'll see what happens. I can't speak on the future as far as like title picture wise because we don't know how that's going to be developed just yet. So I'm a little bit skeptical as far as like where that's going to go. But I can definitely see like them being in there, like close range. It all depends on who else is going to be in that mix. So that also matters as well. So. Because eventually, right now, they're the main ones doing it. They're the main ones dealing with it. But I can see, like, okay, like they're definitely gonna make a story like somewhere around the line, like, okay, I'm getting sick and tired of being put behind the scenes just because you got these two new superstars and you just jump the line. Like, eventually, some people gonna start to wake up. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're gonna make them wake up and be like, oh yeah. I ain't gonna let you take my spot out of nowhere just because you just came over here with the new hottest thing on the block.
They're gonna have more challenges coming after them.
Yeah, so it's like, just to broaden it up a little bit more. So that's how I see it.
That makes sense. I get into the main event real quick. Trick Williams versus Ethan Page in a Devil's Playground match. And this ain't a big headbanger. Trick Williams take the win. Pretty much all I got on that, man. I ain't really got nothing big to say about this match.
I think this would be, if I'm not mistaken, this would be the rubber. So I think Trick will win the rubber.
Right.
And then we move on from there. If we do move on, and let's say Trick still has it, it's still up there because I don't even know who they'll set up next after him. Like after Ego, so I don't know who they'll set after because it's pretty much up in the air. Like, granted, we already know like we already know Wesley's like he's trying to push himself to get up to that title.
Right.
And we also know that Evans, he's also another one trying to get up to that title. So a lot of that is still up in the air with where that's gonna go. But in the midst of that, depending on what happens with Opa, Opa may be crashing right through and trying to go for that title. So, it's a lot of things. Because right now, let's be honest, when we look at the men's picture of this whole match, like when we look at the men's picture, it's the only names you can have after, because after Ethan Page is done, Wesley, Javon Evans, Oba, they're pretty much the head leads going after that title. Spears is nowhere to be found because he's still injured because of that whole jumping scene.
Right.
Amongst that previous storyline. Namar Dar, you know, Noam Dar, he's not back yet, so he's not gonna even be somewhere in the tight end seat. So it's like, who cares about that? And then everything else is just, you look at the rest of the guys like, okay, well, who else you got? I mean, Josh Briggs, I mean, I don't know if he's injured or not, but they say he's inactive, but he's still quote unquote on the roster, but he's not on the team.
Yeah,
So,
he just not the picture. And plus you got I mean the Ridge Hollins win. He
yeah, now see, Rich, yeah, that could be an option. Rich Hollins, you know, saying, hey, he could say, screw this, jump ahead of the line and say, I want that case. Because it has to be somebody, like, it has to be someone. Because at this point, after Ethan Page, who else do you got? You got to make something jump.
right.
I mean, maybe if you want to throw in Joe Coffey at best, but that's all it is. Men sort of dry in this division because, like, well, who else you got to put it up?
Yeah.
So that's the main thing right there. Because most of the dudes out here is they're neither active in tag team or they're just freshly brand new.
Right. You got to build some more people.
Yeah, so we need more heads out this. So, because literally, I ain't gonna lie, Ethan Page, as far as heels wise, he's been the one carrying.
Yeah.
So, you know, that until then it's like, oh, well, we just gotta have to wait.
But as long as he got at least 2 or 3 people lined up, he good.
Oh yeah, for sure.